lesson B. So stress, we are going to talk about this, this kind of word that is called stress. Maybe you already know the meaning for this word stress, and this word became popular the last 2 years. Okay, why? Because for this pandemic, for this lockdown, we could struggle with this kind of illness. Okay, but let's see, or let's remember the meaning for this word stress. Stress is a feeling of worry about the difficulties in your life. Okay, so let's talk about this word as we do two kind of different point of views. So there's a positive stress and there's a negative stress. We can talk about like positive stress when we are happy, uh, when we are watching your favorite movie, when you are playing something or playing video games, or when you go out with your friends, okay, when you eat your favorite uh, flavor about ice cream, okay, I don't know. So when you feel happy, so we can say that that is a positive stress, okay? But we can talk about a negative stress. A negative stress could be when you feel worried, when you feel anxious, when you feel sad, okay? It can be different situations like when you feel worried, when you are going to do, or when you are apply for an exam or a test, when you are going to do your final test or final project, any kind of subject at school, okay, or at college, or maybe when you can feel stress when you have a lot of homework to do, or maybe when you feel sick. We can say that those actions can make us feel stress or this negative stress. Okay, so here we are going to start with these four sentences. So here we got here these sentences, and we can say that you are agree or disagree with this statement. But let's read and let's understand first the meaning for each one. Number one, it is some people feel no stress. Okay. Stress is always bad. Stress can give you energy, and stress can make you sick. Okay. So the first sentence I'm gonna tell you if I agree or disagree with this statement and why. And the next sentences you are going to tell me, well, you can follow the same example, okay? The first sentence says, some people feel no stress. I disagree with this statement because um, I don't know any human being or well someone that that had that haven't told me about I am not feel stress. So maybe yes, of course we are human beings, but for me this sentence it is false because we aren't robots. Okay, as I told you before, there's positive stress and negative stress. So I am not I disagree with this sentence. Okay, to say something as an example. Okay, And of course, it's impossible that you cannot feel stress every day in your life. As I told you before, again, we got positive stress and negative stress according to the situation that we can experience in that moment. Okay, that could be an option. Who can tell me if you are agree or disagree and his or her opinion with the second statement? Stress is always bad. For example, stress is always bad. Remember, an opinion, well, there's no incorrect or correct opinion, okay? It is just an opinion and don't take it personal because every person in this room or in this session thinks something different, okay? Got different point of views. So remember this, there's no correct or incorrect opinions, okay? So here uh, there's no, there isn't the correct option, okay? Only we can say that I that you are agree with something or disagree with something, okay? So for example, stress is always bad. So I disagree with this statement because sometimes we got great moments in our life. So maybe we can go out with our friends, we can eat our favorite food, we can attend a concert with your favorite band. Even you can stay calm at home when you spend time with your family. So that is a positive stress. So is stress isn't always bad, okay? According to the situation, of course. Number three, stress can give you energy. Could be, are you agree or disagree with this?
I think so. Agree because
Okay.
in situation with stress, I
Okay.
work I work better,
o-
uh, but I don't think so. Is good for the healthy.
Okay. It's good for your health, right? Very nice. It's a good point of view here. So stress can give you energy. Yes, of course, because if we are in danger, so our body responds like you you must run, okay, about that situation. Or maybe when you have a lot of homework to do, oh boy, I must do my homework and it is for the next day. So you work so hard and you full of energy and you must do that as soon as possible. Okay? Thank you. It is a good point of view here. So number four, it is stress can make you sick. Agree? Are you agree or disagree?
I think agree, but
Okay.
not every time
Okay.
because uh, isn't be bad every day or isn't be good every day. But I think stress it's in the middle of the point. Not very bad, not very good. Just
Okay.
uh, in different situations, be bad or be good. And
Mhm.
I think get stress every day can make you sick. But if you control them, maybe isn't so bad.
That's right. Thank you. It is another an excellent point of view. So, stress can make you sick. We can say I agree with this. But the reason was interesting. Okay. So, sometimes we can get sick about stress when we feel like a headache, stomach ache. Okay. When we got diarrhea, right? We must run to the bathroom. So, sometimes can be bad, right? But not always. Not always we can get sick when we feel stressed. Of course, according to the situation or the context or the life experience that we are living in that moment. Okay? Thank you. Very nice. So sometimes we can say, when we speak English, I feel stress, right? Because my mind can be sometimes tricky. Okay. So, oh my God, I'm gonna speak in English and maybe people is gonna laugh, right? Or something. But don't worry about that. Here can't happen that. Okay. So thank you. Very nice. It was a good, great point of views about these two sentences. Okay. So remember, there's no correct or incorrect um, opinions. Okay, it is only a point of view, and that's it. Okay. Now let's read this this small reading. Okay. Remember, when we talk about vocabulary, we must read. Okay. So here we got the words in blue: stress, stressful, full of energy, focus, last, anxiety, and low on energy. Okay, but let's read what happened with these with these words. Everyone feels stress sometimes, but not all stressful situations are the same. There is good stress and bad stress in our lives. When you have good stress, you feel full of energy. Good stress can help you focus. It helps you reach your goals, and good stress often lasts only a short time. Bad stress makes you worry. It causes anxiety and can even make you sick. You feel low on energy and want to ignore your problems. So maybe this small reading is related with our previous opinions about what's good stress or bad stress or positive stress and negative stress. Okay? But let's understand what's the meaning for each word in blue. Stress and stressful both are adjectives. Okay? But sometimes this is stressful, sometimes it is a noun. Okay? But let's see. Everyone feels stressed sometimes. After the verb feel or the verb to be, with this ed word, it is an adjective. And we talk about a feeling or emotion. Okay? But here, stressful, it is sometimes could be a noun or an adjective. Here, the function it is an adjective because it goes before a noun situation. Okay? So, full of energy, well, that means that you feel very well and you got a lot of energy to do something. Okay? when you feel very excited, when you are going to go out with your friends, you feel full of energy, okay? To say something. For example, focus. Uh, we can say a synonym for focus, it is concentrate, okay? So when you concentrate in just one task or just one thing to do or activity, you can focus on that, okay? So I can tell you that avoid the multitasking because, for example, if you are a multitasking person, you cannot focus on in only one task for during the during the time. So, or for us, or for a specific period of time, you cannot focus. You are going to lose uh, your concentration. So, I suggest you that you must focus or you must concentrate in just one task at the time. Okay. So even you can find some information about this concentration. So some researchers say that if you do multitasking, you can by the time when you are old, when you are an adult, so with these years, 50 years old or more, you can lose your concentration, or you cannot focus on just one specific topic or task. Okay, so the word last, the function for this, it is a verb. Okay, so here it is good stress often. We got here only a phrase. A phrase, it is the combination for words that there's no verbs. Okay, good stress often. We got here the frequency adverb. Stress, for example, here could be a noun, and good, it is an adjective. Okay, good stress often, lasts only a short time. So we can talk about with this word last for a period of time that is taking this word or this situation about stress. Okay, for example, English class lasts 1 hour every Monday and Friday. Okay, so what is it? My favorite TV show lasts 2 hours to say something. Okay, or something like that. It is about the period of time. Okay, and of course, anxiety. Well, maybe we can say anxiety. It is about when you worry a lot about your future. Maybe, of course, anxiety is related with stress, and sometimes we can get ill about if we feel this anxiety, like stomach ache, um, when you chest hurts, for example, even when you can bite your nails, right? That means that sometimes we can feel anxiety, or maybe when we got a headache, okay, or maybe any kind of mm, weird feeling that make you feel sick. Okay, imagine that your leg is hurting. Maybe it could be related with anxiety, right? Anxiety could be when your hands shaking, when you feel your hands wetting, or when you feel your hands cold. That would be those those things related with your health that makes you feel anxiety. Okay, and sometimes when we feel stress, we can feel low on energy. When we feel tired, when some when something when sometimes uh, we don't do nothing, but you feel tired, okay, or you feel sad, okay, when you feel upset, when you feel angry. So we can say that we can feel this, we are in low energy, okay, to say something. So even we can say, maybe you already know this kind of words, the meanings, because for these last 2 years, we talk about this word. This word became popular, right? For this lockdown, for this corona with this COVID, okay? So maybe we already know about this. Or maybe we could experience these kind of words at least once in our life, okay? So now let's see the next activity because these words, this vocabulary is related with the next activity. Let's see. Oh boy. Even we can we can debate about this situation. And maybe it is very common nowadays, right? Or maybe for the next term. So we can say, let's read the description here. It's normal to be stressed before something important like an exam. That's for sure. When I was a student, yes, of course, I slept too late, uh, studying something about for the next big test, or when I I was presenting an exhibition or a lecture. Okay, sometimes happen, right? So the for the next day, you sit in these kind of chairs, and uh, I did this kind of action. Okay, so even I I wasn't putting attention to the teacher because I was tired. Okay, or maybe this action is very common nowadays. Okay, let's read first the title and later the activity A. We are going to do activity D and activity E. Okay, so the title says less stress before your next big test. Maybe, as we can see in this reading, we got some tips. We got 6 tips, or maybe we got 6 advices. Okay, so let's read first the first activity, and later we are going to listen this reading. It is read about 4 students and their study habits. Are your habits similar or different? Let's read. We got here 4 people, A, B, C, and D. Remember, we are going to give our opinion, okay? There's no correct or incorrect opinion. Letter A says Rachel doesn't like to eat or drink anything when she studies for a long time. Letter B, John likes to study late at night. He drinks a lot of coffee to stay awake. Well, I feel something to this sentence. Huh? Letter C, there's a study group at school, but Omar isn't a member. He always studies alone. Letter D, in the middle of studying, Ines stops for 15 minutes and goes for a walk. So, my I'm going to give you an example. From when I was a student, okay, I was like John and Rachel. Why? Rachel doesn't like to eat or drink anything when she studies for a long time. For example, when I had a lot of homework to do, so I forgot to eat or drink something. Okay, maybe it's weird, but sometimes happen. Um, I forgot to eat or drink something during the day, and because I was so worried about to finish my this my activities or my homework. Okay, and if if I got a lot to do, well, sometimes I I went sleep. I went to sleep too late, or even I couldn't sleep. Okay, so that's the reason that I drank a lot of I drank, sorry, a lot of coffee to stay awake. I know these A and B activities were bad habits for me, okay? Because I get sick about gastritis, okay? So nowadays I can tell you that I don't do that anymore. So the best habit that I can tell you that it is similar right now. It is in the middle of studying. I stop for 15 minutes and go for a walk. So this is the best habit that I can tell you that you can follow. So mm, nowadays I can tell you that I can read something or study something for maybe 20 minutes, and after that I I have a break for at least 5 minutes. Okay, or even if I have a lot of activities to do, so I can work for 1 hour and I can take a break for 15 minutes. And later I take another hour to work and I can take a break for 15 minutes. And of course, I don't forget to drink or eat something. So maybe when I was a student, so I can tell you that I ate a lot of maruchan soup, or maybe pizza, or maybe some junk food. But nowadays I cannot do that. Okay, I can tell you, I can assure you that I can eat some healthy snacks, maybe. Okay, so maybe that's a long example. Okay, but maybe you can feel for each sentence similar, right? You can have similar activities right now, or maybe for in your past. Okay, so let me ask you something. Are your habits similar or different with these four options? You can write it on your notebook and later try it to say those sentences. Which sentence could be different for you, or it is the same for you right now? Okay. Well, I can tell you that I drink coffee, of course, but it is not always. I often drink coffee. So when I was a student, when I was at college, yes, of course, every day I spent my time drinking coffee. Why? I don't know. Maybe because I was anxious or I was stressed about the the homework or the activities that I had to do in those times. So, do you have any similar or different habit? Okay,
I think that I have similar habits with Ines,
okay,
only that me don't go to walk.
okay.
I
So,
listen
uh-huh,
to music or anything.
okay. So instead of walking, what kind of activity you do to get distracted?
Okay. I listen to music or I don't know. Watch videos.
Okay, it's a good option, right? Thank you. It's very interesting because we, instead of walking, we can listen to music, or maybe we can see some, watch some videos on TikTok, right? On YouTube, maybe, or any other kind of activity. Well, I'm gonna see what's if I find a snack on the in the fridge, maybe. Or maybe I can talk with a friend, or maybe I can go out to my garden, maybe, or the yard, and I'm going to look out the nature, right? If you got grass, maybe, or when you got some trees, or it is at night, we can see the sky, the stars, or the moon. I don't know. We can do different kind of activities to get distracted, right? Thank you. It was an interesting point of view. So now we are going to listen this reading, okay? So remember, we are going to listen once. Later, we are going to read the activity D and we are going to do it, okay? So now let's pay attention to this reading, okay?
Less stress before your next big test. Today is a big day. It's test day. You are nervous and don't feel well. Your stomach hurts and your mouth is dry. Did you prepare well for your test? You think so, but you aren't sure. Stress is normal, but there are some things you can do to reduce it. Here are some quick and easy tips to help you prepare for your next big test. Tip 1. It's important to study every day before a test, but you don't want to study too much in one day. Let's say you have 5 days to study before your test. You remember more by studying for 2 hours each day than 10 hours in one day, and not studying the other days. Tip 2. Studying before bed is a good idea, but don't study instead of sleeping. Go to bed when you are tired and get a good night's sleep. You can study the next day when your mind is alert. Tip 3. When you sit for hours without moving, the body and mind can become tired. Get up and move around. Take a break for 10 to 15 minutes every hour. It can help you think more clearly. Tip 4. Don't have sugary foods or drinks when you are studying, and don't drink a lot of coffee or energy drinks. They give you energy for a short time, but then you feel tired. Tip 5. When you study for a long time, you become low on energy. To keep your energy up, eat light foods like yogurt or nuts. Tip 6. Most of the time, you need to study alone, but you also can benefit from a study partner. A partner can ask you questions to help you prepare. You can also talk to your partner to reduce stress.
Okay. So, as you could listen, we got here 6 tips and very useful tips right now. Okay. Even we can use them in your daily life. So, let's see what happened with the next activity. Letter D, there are 6 study tips in the article, that's for sure. Write the tip number next to the correct information. As you can see, we got here 6 imperatives, okay? 6 tips, 6 advices, okay? Number 1 is already done. In tip number 4, we can find this statement. Don't eat too much sugar. Hmm. I am not I am not agree with this. Or I can tell you I disagree with this sentence. I love sugar. What happened with don't study after bedtime? Study every day, don't skip days. Don't always study by yourself. Move around every hour and eat light snacks. I disagree with this sentence because I love junk food. Okay. Now let's do this together. Oh, sorry. Let's listen again this and don't forget which tip it is the correct one for each sentence. Okay.
Less stress before your next big test. Today is a big day. It's test day. You are nervous and don't feel well. Your stomach hurts and your mouth is dry. Did you prepare well for your test? You think so, but you aren't sure. Stress is normal, but there are some things you can do to reduce it. Here are some quick and easy tips to help you prepare for your next big test. Tip 1. It's important to study every day before a test, but you don't want to study too much in one day. Let's say you have 5 days to study before your test. You remember more by studying for 2 hours each day than 10 hours in one day, and not studying the other days. Tip 2. Studying before bed is a good idea, but don't study instead of sleeping. Go to bed when you are tired and get a good night's sleep. You can study the next day when your mind is alert. Tip 3. When you sit for hours without moving, the body and mind can become tired. Get up and move around. Take a break for 10 to 15 minutes every hour. It can help you think more clearly. Tip 4. Don't have sugary foods or drinks when you are studying, and don't drink a lot of coffee or energy drinks. They give you energy for a short time, but then you feel tired. Tip 5. When you study for a long time, you become low on energy. To keep your energy up, eat light foods like yogurt or nuts. Tip 6. Most of the time, you need to study alone, but you also can benefit from a study partner. A partner can ask you questions to help you prepare. You can also talk to your partner to reduce stress.
Mhm. So the reason or the tip that you can catch these these tips, it is only looking for the positive or negative sentence that we got here. Don't study after bedtime. Okay. So where we can find this, in which paragraph, in which tip? Okay. So it is only to follow the reading and identify where we can find each sentence. Okay. That would be the tip for this. Now, you're going to tell me the correct options, okay? The correct tips, sorry. So, tip, well, the sentence number 1, it is already done. Tip 4, don't eat too much sugar. Maybe that's my problem for me. I love sugar. So, number 2, don't study after bedtime. Which tip it is the correct one?
Tip 2.
Tip 2. Don't worry if we got a mistake. It is only a task or an activity that we can do. Okay. Study. The next one, it is study every day. Don't skip days.
Tip 1.
Tip 1.
Okay. Thank you. The next one, don't always study by yourself.
Tip 6.
6. I, sorry. And the next one, move around every hour.
Tip 3.
Tip 3. Thank you. And the last one, eat light snacks.
Type 5. Tip 5.
Tip 5. Let's see. Very nice. Okay. So as you can see, it is only 6 sentences for this long reading. And the most important thing was these 6 sentences. Okay. Sometimes these readings can be tricky, but if you're applying for a test, that's for sure that you are going to find this kind of activity. Okay. Even it cannot be related with study. It could be the topic, different topic. Okay. Now let's do this activity E together. And what's the reason for? Because we don't have these 3 small points, the dots, sorry, that can help me to say, well, if I got a mistake, this platform, this system can tell me the correct option. Okay, let's see. This activity is new for you. Okay, complete the study tips with follow-up information. Use your own ideas. Okay, what's a follow-up? So we must read each statement, each sentence, and what would be the next information that complete this statement. Okay, we can add a result about the first sentence or just another opinion. Of course, we must have coherence that we are according to the sentence that we are going to say. Okay, but the clue is, well, the tip is that you must understand the first sentence and later you can imagine what would be the the follow-up information or the information that can complete the first sentence. For example, don't study a lot one day because you are going to feel this burnout. Okay, or don't study a lot one day because you are going to get tired. Okay, or you can feel tired. So those options, according to my point of view, are related with the first sentence. Okay, as you can see, we got here more imperatives, negative imperatives. Okay, let's see the next one. Don't study late at night. Okay, because for the next day, you you are not going to be able to remember the previous information. Well, I can tell you that this is um, uh, that's a true sentence. Okay, so don't study late at night because you must drink a lot of coffee, and sometimes coffee is bad for health. Okay, I don't know. We can add more information, of course, that we must have a coherence, or the next sentence must have it must be related with the first sentence. Okay, so can you tell me which sentence is the correct one, or which opinion is the correct one for the next sentence? Don't sit too long without moving. You can imagine the information, okay? Even you can write it on your notebook and later you can tell me. Or what happened with the next sentence? Don't eat sugary foods or drink sugary drinks. Don't study alone. Te comentaba que este es un ejercicio nuevo para ti, porque debemos de complementar eh, estas oraciones con alguna otra oración coherente a la primera idea. ¿Ok? Comentaba que don't study a lot one day. En mi imaginación, ya no me acuerdo qué te dije sobre esta primera oración, pero dije algo coherente, algo relacionado a la primera oración. ¿Ok? Ah, les comenté que si no estudies mucho un día, porque al siguiente no serás capaz de recordar lo que leíste previamente. Y sí puede suceder, me ha pasado, cuando era estudiante, claro. Ahora esta, don't study late at night, porque si no beberás mucho café.